Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Let me tell you a story. It's a rainy Tuesday night, and my whole family piled into my mom's Honda CR-V, and we went to Rubberina in Lexington. It's about 2 hours away. And when we got there, I saw my very first Kentucky basketball game. We played the Kansas Jayhawks, and we lost miserably. But that's not what I remember. I remember more eating 3 orders of nachos, or getting my hairspray painted blue, or getting to listen to my Old Kentucky Home played by the University of Kentucky Pep Band with my sister, and shedding a few tears. And that was the day that I decided that I had become a member of the elite in-group of Big Blue Nation.
The current literature on this examination of female experience has been looked at through the lens of the current definition of masculinity as it relates to sports spectatorship. With all of this in mind, I have found that the divisions of respective sports spectators can often be tied to the class, and deeper divisions of the state may only seep through the surface in this form. These ideas can be complicated even more through the addition of gender and location into the conversation, leading an observer to infer that the fixation on sports in lower income areas is often used as a unifier and, to a degree, a distraction from the larger issues facing the area.
Hi, I'm Helen, and I'm here to tell you how to be a female sports spectator through my experiences as a fan of the University of Kentucky Wildcats. First, find your sport. The most important part about being a female who is passionate about sports is having a sport that you enjoy watching.
Maybe it's baseball, or football, or hockey. For me, my sport has always been basketball. My team for basketball has always been the University of Kentucky Wildcats. I chose this team not really by choice, more by circumstance. My whole family are Kentucky fans, and that is coincidental given that I am from Louisville, which is the place where the University of Kentucky's rival, the University of Louisville, is based. Now, the vast majority of U of L students are from Louisville, while the students from UK are more geographically diverse within the state. And this divide creates a sense of us versus them between the rest of the state and Louisville, and that carries over to basketball. While I'm from Louisville, I am not like most other people who are from there. My mom's entire family is from Western Kentucky, and that heritage has changed the way that I view where my loyalties lie in basketball. My sister, Katie, a lifelong fan of Louisville, discussed the division of different types of fans, those who are loyal to the school and those who are loyal to the place that the school represents. This brings an important distinction to other fan bases in the country. Beyond the major population centers, most of which have colleges in them, the college education rate in the smaller rural towns can be as low as 32%, and that goes back for generations. This statistic alone supports the theory that sports team association goes beyond school and gets into a much larger divide that's simply what color people wear on game day.
Next, you have to have really thick skin. In my experience, it's always been difficult to prove to men that you know as much about sports as they do. For instance, once I went to Buffalo Wild Wings with my then boyfriend and was asked if he had taught me the information that I was yelling at the screen during a UK game. He didn't know anything about sports. If anything, I had taught him, but no one there would have believed that because of the misconception of women as sports fans.
As a female, there is a level of misunderstanding of intention when it comes to female sports fans, as scholars have addressed in their research, including Esmond, Kooky, and Andrews in their paper, It's Supposed to Be About the Love of the Game, Not the Love of Aaron Rodgers' Eyes. Sports are considered a masculine domain in the eyes of scholars, and thus further characterizing the area in male superiority and dominance. However, these researchers found that these ideas seem to be perpetuated, but that the system of sports entertainment is so driven towards the male population that it is inherently designed to exclude women, which results in affirmation of gender hierarchies.
Next, you need someone to do it with you. When I was a kid, my sister knew more about sports than I did, and she taught me pretty much everything that I knew about basketball. And growing up, I thought that it was normal for girls to be sports fans because of just what I was around. You know, my sister knew a lot, my mom knew a lot, my grandma knew a lot. And it wasn't until I was like 8 or 9 that I realized that I was actually in the minority and that I had a separation from other girls because I liked watching sports. You know, I would play NBA video games with my friends across the street, or I would, you know, throw a football with them, but like I was not like most girls were at school. And that was when I realized that females as sports spectators were an outgroup within my society. So in conclusion, even though it can be really difficult to be a female sports spectator sometimes, it also can be really rewarding. Some of my favorite memories from when I was little revolved around the people who I got to watch the games with. You know, you go to Rep Arena and it's like 10,000 of your closest friends who all like the same things as you. My most memorable co-watchers were this old couple who sat next to my sister and me in the upper arena. Their names were Linda and Carl. They were a married couple, and they had been coming to UK games for their entire marriage of 50 years. And I remember when I was about 12, maybe 13, Linda ended up dying. And so the road trips that they would take every time there was a game at home would be about 3 hours. And Carl kept coming after Linda died. And I always thought that was really weird, and so one time I asked him about it, and he said that he never felt closer to her than when he was there, and that was their favorite thing to do together. And that's just something that really stuck with me, something that reminds me of how important basketball can be to a community, and how lucky I am to be a part of it. And that's why whenever I hear my Old Kentucky Home, our state song, I will shed a tear or two, and that's mostly because not because as much I like the state, but more because I like being a part of my in-group, and I like the community that revolves around it, and the fact that I get to call that place my home. Mom's blue Honda CR-V on a Tuesday night so that it was rainy, and I just said what? That's it. Let me turn it off. It's all good. Just cut it out.
Yeah, you need to keep going.
Whether it's based on me, it's basketball. I love basketball. Turn it off.